G'day men, hope you're well. Those watching the replay, hit hashtag replay and post your comments, revelations and takeaways below, fellas. Always appreciate your thoughts, your opinions and viewpoints. There's always a gift, and that's the point of this one, the power of perspectives. I just want to do a super quick, a short video here talking about the power of perspective. Now look, we can, there's a saying that I've always had, perception creates reality. It does create the bricks that you will lay and the foundation from what you will believe to become your reality. The question is that aligning with the external reality in the real world? Because there are two different worlds. What's happening inside of yourself and what are you expressing, influencing or manifesting outside of yourself? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that if those two aren't aligned, there's some form of insanity that comes about because there's an expectation or assumption inside of your head, inside of your heart, that doesn't really add up or necessarily connect with what's happening in the real world. This is the power of perspective. So when we're coming into this, I want you to really think about not just your own perspective, but shifting your own perspective around other people's perspectives. Now, stay with me here. This isn't about the movie Inception and diving layers under. It's about really looking at your family. I've just got my background on my computer. Here's my daughter, Stella, my eldest. And I'm looking at her, I'm thinking, what are her perspectives on certain things? Dinner time, the dinner table, how does she see things? What's her current reality and how she sees things? Sensory perceptions or not, what is she actually experiencing? Because there are so many people who think black is black and black is charcoal. Your eyes are all different. And I know that's a bit of a generalization, when we say this, but it's the truth. Our family has such a different position, not just on colors and what you think a color is, but on their perspectives of certain experiences and environments and the influences that fold on or unfold from that, because you are creating and leading your children's environment. They come, like you and me, we come into this world with a blank canvas, and what an amazing opportunity, right? 1 in 400 trillion sperm, you are the one. You're the winner. You've already won the greatest game of life, so don't ever forget that, and make sure you carry that value through to continually turning up and investing in yourself, just like these videos here, to show you how to think. That's what this is about. It's never what to think, it's how to think. So when it comes to your perspectives, that's not just a state, a triggering, a reaction to a response and creating and all the other different moving parts that probably goes through not only a neurochemical process and pathway, but your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and belief systems. It's imperative to understand that you can get the most out of what you want in life from other people, places, and things, and yourself, if you continually reposition your perspective to build what I believe is modern intelligence in self and social awareness. If you don't have this awareness, man, that's why you're triggered. That's why you're taking your work home with you. That's why you can't connect with your children or with your wife, because you can't feel and read her body language. Sometimes you can, right? But at that stage, it's too late. What are the subtleties? What's the posture like? What's the air like? You've felt that before, where it's just been really uncomfortable. There's been someone around you and it's been super uncomfortable, whether it's a pub or whether it's out to a dinner or a restaurant, and you just don't like the feel of someone, or you do, and you're drawn into someone, and it's something where you're like, wow, I can really listen to this person, or they're speaking some great words and I feel connected. That is, I guess, to a sense, an aura, if you wanted to pick a word, but what's the feel, man? You can't have that social awareness if you don't build that self-awareness first. This is modern day intelligence, because life is connection. Life is a series of relationships and relationship building for negotiations, trade, sell, giving, taking, asking, receiving, transparency, all of the above. Which means when it comes to something as simple as your wife asking you what you want for dinner, when you just blow it off or dismiss it, I don't care, whatever, I'm tired or I'm this or I'm that, it's A, because you haven't invested in yourself to have the long-term game and endurance to last the day, not just physically, but your mental attitude towards life. When your wife is asking you something, or your children, you need to repeat yourself with them. I get that, it's a frustration nonetheless, but when you're training, you're doing repetitions. When I'm speaking here with thousands of videos after the last couple of years, I'm doing repetitions. Life is full of repetitions, it's full of reps. Yes, it's frustrating when you need to repeat yourself on something so basic and fundamental, but you don't know what your child's attitude is towards brushing their teeth, or nighttime activities, or nighttime reading, or bed, bath time, all the different structures you want to put in place or don't have in place in life that need to be there, when you've got these crazy little chemical bodies that are just wired to explore and discover and experiment and test the boundaries, so to speak, of life. So when your wife is asking you what you want for dinner and you dismiss it, you got to look at her perspective. She's investing in words and energy to create a level of dialogue and communication and connection with you. And when that isn't received or reciprocal, that's her being shot down, which leads to a disconnect. Now, I know that may seem trivial. When your wife asks you what you want for dinner, you just dismiss it, or you don't play a role, you don't come to the party, or you don't commit, or you don't take a lead where you should in certain areas, that leads to a disconnect, because what she's putting out there has ultimately been rejected. Might sound crazy to us, I get that. We're men, we're very literal. numbers, problem solving. Women are very lateral, sideways thinking. But I want you to think about a few of these triggers that just get underneath your wife's skin. Something as simple as asking you what you want to do today, what you want to do for a date with the kids, where do you want to take the kids, what are we going to do for a certain responsibility or duty you have with them, appointments, sport, other moving parts that you dismiss because you're too tired or you don't have the energy to handle, where ultimately what you're doing without looking at her perspective, which could be hers, whether it's her truth or not, it's her feelings and her perspective. You're not engaged, you're not coming to the party, meeting her halfway and delivering something together, either as individuals, intimate couples, or parents. That's a very powerful thing, fellas, and I'll leave it on that note. I want you to share your comments down below. Where do you feel like you've either been triggered, you have only had one perspective, you haven't opened up the scope of the lens to see it through other people's eyes, that you know has come back and bitten you in the ass, and you look back in retrospect and you're like, yeah, I actually didn't handle that as well as I probably could have. I didn't realize they were feeling that way. Because when you're not willing to have transparency and communication, what that leads to is either too much conflict with no point or purpose, or no collision, which means there's suppression, which ultimately means this level of conflict or separation that you feel, and it's a connectedness not just to your wife or your children, but to life. You're just kicking the can down the road, man. Sooner or later, you're going to have to pick it up. When it's rusty, old, dented as shit, and it's got things that are going to cut you to pieces, that's going to be a moment where everything implodes, and you'll throw your hands up in the air when all you need to do is go upstream and go, oh, I can see where that 1% compounded. Next time your wife asks you what you want for dinner, take lead, think about it for a minute, and don't be afraid to ask. What do you want for dinner? Well, you know what? I'd really love some Mexican tonight. Let's get that steak, get in the slow cooker. That'd be awesome if you could do that for me, please. I'll look after the kids. We've got some cheese, we've got some avocado, we've got all the bits and pieces. Let's do a deconstructed Mexican kit, and we can put a bit of taco seasoning on the steak. That'd be awesome. Can we have that? Then she has fulfillment and reward. She has contribution. She has purpose. And this isn't about just role relevant. That's one example of your wife cooking in the kitchen or organising dinner. One of many. But you're meeting them halfway and building connection through such simple things, just like you asking her. And if she doesn't know, awesome. Take lead again. Wear the pair of pants that you need to wear, just like she has a pair, and then initiate things with your creating different experiences, surprising her, giving her gifts, other different moving parts that really establishes not only a level of control inside of yourself and your actions, but leadership and connection, because you're not just dismissing things no matter how tired you are. You're coming to the table, coming to the party and working together, because you can now see from her perspective, even though it's not real and not your truth, what she might think is the truth when you dismiss a level of engagement. That's a powerful thing. Don't ever forget that, man. Comment below, shares, takeaways, revelations with your children, with your kids. You know, when I tell my kids in the bath, I don't just say, all right, bath time's up. Like, imagine if I was just doing this right now and someone just came running and pulled me out of my office and said, all right, you're done, mate, go home. No more video. Like, there's a processing that's important. We can react quicker as adults, but as children, 5 more minutes of bath time, Stella and Lillian, 3 more minutes, couple more minutes we're going to get out. And obviously it becomes 10 minutes, but it's just prepping them. All right, daddy's going to get your bedtime clothes now. We're going to get your pajamas out. All right, got your towel. Okay, you've washed your face. 1 more minute, then we're going to get out. And you're priming them to transition. And this is what it is with perspectives as well, man. It's just transitions. From my current state right here and now, delivering value and service to you, I'm going to transition to getting in the car, to going home. I'm going to transition to my children, put my phone away. I'm going to transition to my wife, make sure she's greeted and I'm giving her what she needs. And it's hard for us as men. You're on at work, then you're on at home. And if your work is at home at the moment, it's like you're always on. It's just a different switch, a different gear in a different area of life. It's challenging, man. Invest in yourself, take the time out to be one level above the chaos, zoom out so you can get better social and self-awareness of what's happening, so you can zoom right in. And make sure you're taking lead and charge where you want to, being the panda, submissive, playful with the kids, with the wife, where you want to, where you need to, and you're building this continuity and this reciprocal energy in this relationship that keeps you connected, because you're seeing it from their eyes as well as your own. You're communicating your wants and needs and desires through your perspectives, asking for hers, same as the children, same as anyone in your close circle of friends or family, which means there's better understanding, better clarity, and better connection. Take care, men. Comment below. Have an amazing evening. Cheers.